Hello. I just threw on a look. I actually made this mini palette last night. This is my single shadows attempt of like my own like Shop Your Stash Carli Bybel palette, and I'm pretty pleased with it. I don't think it's exactly spot on, but at the same time I think sometimes that's the idea that they sell you, that the colors are different than the ones you have. The only ones that there is a big noticeable difference is in the original palette, there's like the two gray tones right there, and these are not spot on. Like these are the closest that I had to it. One of them is like a lighter gray, one of them is a darker gray, one of them has like rainbow shimmer in it, which looks really cool. But at the same time, I'm excited to use these. This is ColourPop Bashful and ColourPop Goody Two Shoes, and these are colors that are really unused in my collection, and I actually used them on my lid today. So that's kind of fun that this little experiment encouraged me to pull out something that I've rarely, if ever, used. So that's cool, that's exciting. The Carli Bybel palette isn't vegan anyway, but when it first came out I was kind of intrigued by it, so that's why I wanted to do this little experiment of making my own version of it, or the closest I could with the colors I had. So that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that I have way too many lipsticks, and it's like mid-October now. I'm really behind on my life. But at the end of August, I was like, I'm sick of this. I don't use these lipsticks. And I emptied all of my lipsticks into this bad boy that like sits in the shelf of my desk. And every time I use one, I pull it out and I can put it into my little lipstick container. Or if I realize I don't need it, I'll put it in my bag to declutter it. So it's been an exciting exercise in using what I have and really making sure I use what I have, as opposed to normal life where things are kind of like sitting in my collection and I'm like, oh, I'll use that then, or oh, I really like this, and not actually pulling out the wand and putting it on my lips and realizing either I don't like the color anymore, I don't like the formula anymore, or sometimes it changes. I had a Jouer one that I pulled out the other day for Jouer Melon, which I always really liked. It's kind of like a soft pinky nude, and I realized that it got really like thick and crumbly and unusable because it's just too old. So it was nice because I feel like if it hadn't been for this exercise, I wouldn't have noticed stuff like that. And that's just an example. I've had several lipsticks that I've done that with, or even just sitting in this little crate. I've like spent a lot of time kind of looking at my lipsticks, and I realized that there's certain things that just don't stack up. They don't excite me. They're not worth keeping in my life. They're not something I'm going to choose to use. So without even using them, I've been able to add them to my declutter bag, which I either have filmed. I filmed like one little declutter part, but I also still have a ton to declutter. So way more coming on that front. But in this video, I wanted to just go through the lipsticks I wore in September and a couple notes on them. I only have the ones that have made it through that first cut. The other ones that I either tried and didn't like, or got rid of before really trying for a day, have been put into the declutter bag. So everything I'm going to show is the stuff that has passed round one of the exercise and is staying in my collection for now. But we'll see. I plan to do even more comparisons, because even as it is, like a whole little lipstick tray for 1 month seems like a lot. I guess I kind of hoped I would get rid of more, but I don't know, whatever, we'll see. And then at the end of this, I had enough lipsticks that I had done the calculations when I first started this, and I had, I think it was 139 lipsticks, though I did find more after calculating that number. It was 139 lipsticks, and I think there's 125 days left in the year, which works for me, because I mean, some days I don't wear lipsticks at all, but some days I go out with my friends and we do photo shoots and I'll wear 4 lipsticks in a day, or I'll do a makeup look to go out in the afternoon, and I'll do something more funky for pictures when I'm home at night. So I think it does in a way even out to 1 a day or more. So yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully it'll be the right number for the rest of the year. And I'm not savvy technologically. I still haven't figured out how to edit any video I filmed, and this is like my 5th or 6th video that I'm just gonna have like footage sitting there until I decide to buckle up and look up how to use iMovie. So unfortunately, I'm not able to insert pictures of me wearing these like I'd like to and like I plan to in the future, but I have been recording this journey on my Instagram. My Instagram is hotveganhannah, and I'm going to make a little like highlight where I put all my lipstick stories so you can see all the little like boomerangs of me wearing the lipsticks that I will be discussing in this video. So the first one that I wore is from Tarte, and this is Birthday Suit. This is a lipstick that I had gotten as like the birthday perk from Sephora a couple years ago, and this one I was surprised by. This I had never used. This was still sitting in the box with the little blush that it came with. This is such a cute little set, and it was marked vegan, which is really cool. And yeah, I just opened these recently for the first time, and they're nice. It's silly that I haven't used them at all in this time. I believe it was likely 2017 when I acquired these, if not 2016. But either way, they've just been sitting here unused in my collection all this time. So it was nice that this was the first one that I dove into, and I like it. And I think something cool about this also is that it is like an exercise in learning to appreciate what I have. I do want to get to know my collection more, and I think that's something that happens when you have a big collection and you take in things carelessly, that, you know, you receive birthday gifts, you receive perks and giveaways and gift with purchases, if I didn't already say that, and you throw another lipstick in your cart to reach the minimum, and you really lose touch with what you have. As example of me having this for years and never using it until last month. Maybe I'll try to swatch these on my arm. So that's cool, and I feel like I have a new nice lipstick in my collection, and this is the kind of nude that I like. I'm actually wearing Kylie Cosmetics Candy K right now, and I feel like this looks kind of similar. So that'll be something that I will evaluate at the end of this process, you know, in a couple months. But yeah, I like that I'm getting to know these lipsticks, and now I know that I have this guy, even though I won't be wearing it until I've gone through all the lipsticks that I still have to wear. The next one is Urban Decay Jilted, and this I was given as a gift from a friend that had worked at Ulta, that I had helped her out with the photo shoot, and she gave me this one, and it was so sweet of her that she looked up to see who was vegan before she gave it to me, so that was nice. And this is like a hot pink, but it's cool. I feel like hot pink it's kind of like a necessary evil to have in your collection, because I'm not necessarily excited by hot pinks. They're not like an everyday color, but I do think this one's really cool, and I like that it's a bullet formula, because I do have other ones that are a liquid lipstick, and I'm really moving away from liquid lipstick in my life. I just don't have time for that anymore, and I don't like when it looks all crumbly. I prefer a bullet lipstick, so then when I eat, it'll kind of evenly go away, and I can wipe it off my lips with the napkin and have no problem. So yeah, that will be something I will be comparing at the end of this process, as I said about the previous lipstick. So yeah, so far that's Birthday Suit and Jilted. Next up is Lime Crime Squash, and this has been like a favorite color for a long time, but do you ever do this, that you like tell yourself you have a favorite, so then in your head it's just your favorite and you don't like, even if you don't use it, even if you're not currently practicing it being your favorite, it's still just like classified as favorite? I'm trying to unlearn those behaviors. I'm trying to unlearn the rules that I gave myself years ago. Years ago when I discovered, oh, I don't like black eyeshadow, I don't like orange eyeshadow, I love this lipstick. It's like, these don't have to be my rules. I'm not defined by the things I discovered about myself about makeup years ago, because that's not necessarily who I am anymore. So I do like this color, but this is actually one of the few things I have a backup of, and I'm starting to think that's kind of like, do I really need a backup of this one really weird lipstick? I mean, I do like it. I'm not trying to sell it short. It's so cool and unique, but I don't know if it's my favorite anymore. The next one is Mellow Cosmetics Nude. This I had gotten in an Ipsy box, and I really like It's like a mauvey pinky nude. Something I did think was kind of sketchy though, that usually when I post the lipsticks I'm wearing on my Instagram, I'll tag the brand, and they had sent me back this super like sketchy like, hey girl DM of you know, you could be our ambassador, here's your code for 30% off and we'll post your picture, and it's so scammy. So that kind of like turned me off of the brand, that they're trying to like manipulate people to give them a discount code that is still really profiting them, and then you could be their advertising. I don't like that. It rubbed me the wrong way, but I still really do like that pink. Next up is Jeffree Star Posh Spice. This is another one that I kind of labeled in my head as a favorite years ago, but I don't wear it that much. I do like it when I wear it. It's like it's a weird like cool toned brown, and I do like it a lot. I don't know, maybe favorite's kind of like an arbitrary word, because this and Squash, I really like them, I just don't wear them that much. But they could be my favorite that I'd be wearing them that much. I don't know. Next up is Anastasia Madison, and I like this. I think it's kind of like a unique color, but the more I use it, the more I'm kind of like, it just reads hot pink, and it reads less purple. And as I say that, it kind of does look pretty purple there, especially compared to Jilted. But that's that. I like it. Next up is ColourPop Scorpio Moon. This is from the Kathleen Lights collab. I really, really like this color. It's like a mauvey pink. I think it's so pretty, and actually it's kind of similar to that mellow. Maybe not as much as I originally thought, but that mellow one right here and this one do kind of look similar, just the Scorpio Moon has more purple to it. Next up is Jeffree Star Thick as Thieves. I really like this color, but I'm not too keen on the formula. It's like really dry when it goes on. But I did like it more than I thought I would when I wore it earlier this month, and this will be something that I will consider more in the future. Next up is Anastasia Vintage Gloss. This was like a I think it was a 100-point perk from Sephora. And this, I like it, but this I lost in a jacket for like a year, so we did lose some time together because of that. But recently when I was considering purchasing Blaze from the House Labs lipsticks, I swatched this and I was like, I feel like that might be similar enough. Can I just start swatching the side? That might be easier instead of that. So I think I should get more use out of this than I have, and I like that I'm realizing that it's not a funkier or unwearable color. It's kind of like a nice mid-toned pink gloss. Next up, I'm going to try to swatch on the side. This is NYX Butter Lipstick in, I think, Root Beer Float. I had previously had this in Pops. Allegedly it's the same color, but I had lost Pops I think last December. I think I brought it to my friend's house for like a weekend where I was staying there, and I never saw it again. She never saw it in her room, so that's just life. I replaced it with the Root Beer Float, but I just feel like it's pinkier than Pops was. And maybe Pops had this this other life in my head, or maybe, I mean, it was pretty old, so maybe the color changed over the years because of that. But this just doesn't, like, it's not what I want it to be, but it's still nice. Next up is NYX Slip Tease in Rosy Outlook. This is one of my most recent lip purchases. I haven't been buying that much makeup the past couple years, ever since I started being, I mean, maybe not a couple years, but maybe a year or so, ever since I started being kind of overwhelmed with my collection. But this is something that I bought because I'm really into these berry tones, and I like that this is like a slippery formula, kind of like a gloss liquid lipstick hybrid, but it doesn't, like, you know, doesn't dry down. Yeah, that's pretty. I wore this filming some video that I filmed. Maybe it was like my August purchases. But yeah, I like that. I'm excited to get more use out of this color. I'm interested in purchasing more from this formula, either Motel Dreams or Negotiator. They're both kind of like interesting purples. Yeah, some of those might be in my future. Next up is Ofra Manila. I had bought this on Kathleen Light's recommendation a couple years ago. I think I was in Hawaii when I got it, so that would have been January 2018. But it is kind of like a nice, cool nude without being too Extreme, and it was cute when I had posted this on Instagram. They had Oprah had responded to it with like a heart, and it was cute. Next up is Anastasia Moon Jelly, and this is a clear gloss with I think like some pink and purple sparkles. You could barely even see that. Yeah, you can't really see that, but I promise it's there. I like this, but I feel like my problem with sparkly glosses is that I usually have sparkly eyes, and it seems like when I have like a really shimmery eye and a really shimmery lip, it just looks too much. So maybe I just need to figure out the better formula on that. I can really see the like purple shift when I look at it, but it's just not picking up. Next up is Crush from Anastasia, and when I had bought this, I thought it was like kind of deep. It's the same thing with this Candy K that I'm wearing now, that I feel like when they came out and like super nude lipsticks were all the rage, these seemed so like mid-toned, and now it's like this is a nude to me. Like I don't want that like Kim Kardashian concealer lips nude that was cool in 2012. Like this is a nude, and like feel like the pinky tone complements my skin. This is actually probably pretty similar to this, but yeah, so I really like that. Yeah, in the past I had Pure Hollywood, and I had this one, and Pure Hollywood was like the nude and this was like the pink. But like for me, this is nude and Pure Hollywood is just unusable. I think I did put that in the declutter bag because it just doesn't suit my life anymore. Next up is Tansy from ColourPop. This is an ultra satin, and it's like a brown. I do need to compare my browns sometime because I have a bunch of them and I really just need one. I do really like a brown lip. I had really liked the Wet n Wild one, but because Wet n Wild is questionable with their cruelty-freeness, I got rid of that. So I did kind of like get more browns than I needed to try to make up for that one, but I don't know, we'll see. Next up is Cream Fresh from ColourPop. This is the Velvet Blur. This is the only Velvet Blur I have, and I mean I like it. I like that it reminds me of a Revlon Chubby Stick. Is that what they were called? Or Chubby Bomb, or Bomb Stay? Not a Bomb Stain. I'm not sure. They had the line, I think it was 2012, and I was obsessed with them. They had oh, I can't remember. There was a rich red that I had bought because of Leanne Says, and I loved it. And I ended up buying, I think, every color in that collection, and there was an orange, like a tangerine color. I can't remember. I can't believe I don't remember the name. I remember the pink was Unapologetic. There was like a nudie, I think, called like Koi or something. I'm so frustrated that I can't remember these, but it doesn't matter. There was a tangerine color that looked like this. Might have been a little bit bolder, but I feel like this might be the more 28. It's my birthday. I'm 28. This is might be the more 28-year-old Hannah version of that. So I like that this is like a fun, I would like to throw it on in the summer, kind of orange lipstick. I like that it has that like Velvet Blur formula, so it's kind of like, it's light, kind of balmy in a way. It's not too dry. It's not too slippery. So yeah, I'm excited to have this. That's the moral of the story. Did I already say that? Next up is Too Faced Chihuahua. This was a sample that I had acquired at some point in my life, and I really like this. I'm starting to wonder if I have way too many colors in that tone, but I do really like that. I really like the formula of these. I have several minis, but for something like this, where especially it has like this it's like a balm applicator, like a soft applicator. It doesn't matter when it's small. It's hard when you have a bullet that's mini to apply on your lips evenly, but something like this, no problem. And if I have any shot of using up lipsticks, they're gonna be this size lipstick. Okay, next up, I have the NYX Powder Puff Lippy in Moody. This is kind of like a darker mauve-y purple. Actually, it's looking pretty, it looks pretty darn pink when I put it on like that. I do enjoy this formula, but this time when I wore it, I kind of felt it looked kind of messy. But this was also when I was doing a photo shoot, and I had brought a couple different lipsticks to wear for the different looks I had on. And when I put this on, I didn't feel like I don't know, it didn't make me feel beautiful. Most lipsticks I do put on carefully in front of a mirror, and maybe this just wasn't the right one to grab to throw on, you know, when I was on the go doing a photo shoot. Next up, is the e.l.f. and Alyssa Ashley gloss. I really like this one. I think it's like a really pretty brown, but like a little warm lip gloss. It's like a nice looking tube. It's like nice and sturdy. I like it. Next is Miami Fever from Ofra. I think oranges can be hard, but I really like that like burnt orange. It's interesting, these things, I feel like it does look brighter in the camera than it does here. Because it is kind of like much more burnt that I see on my arm than what I see in the monitor. But tons of swatches of this online. This was the Kathleen Lights collab. This is actually reminding me I want to throw on the nail polish from KO Polish I have to go with this. That's going to be a look. I gotta do that sometime. This is e.l.f. Smoky Taupe. Smoky Taupe? Yeah, Smoky Taupe. And this is like a cool brown. It's like a different color, kind of like an intense color. And I like that. I like it because I feel like a lot of like mid-tone browns I put on kind of make me look dead. I was actually thinking about wearing 0.0 with this look, and I felt like it's just like it doesn't fit with like the other girly things. And like I like having like my pink crease, and I like having my purple t-shirt, and I got my pink room, and I just felt like having like the cool tone 0.0, I have to like try harder. I feel like I have to put it with more like fresher colors like white and black. So for me, it's harder to use that kind of thing. But this, I think, does go with a variety of looks. I don't even know if this makes any sense. This is Be Okay. I also used it for the same photo shoot. This is a lipstick that I don't wear every day, but when I do wear it, I'm happy I have it. This is from ColourPop. It doesn't look that bright here, but it's super bright. It's like a super bright pinky coral, and it's really pretty. And I like it a lot for this summer, especially. That's the hard thing about doing this, like, challenge, experiment, exercise, whatever I'm calling it, in the winter, because I feel like there are some lipsticks that just don't get as much use at certain times of year. But at the same time, I'm trying to reinvent those rules in my head, because who said that you can't wear this then or this then? And also, as I'm shrinking my collection, I'm trying to get more use out of my lip liners that I haven't been big on for a while, despite having, what, 15 of them in this little cup here? Because the lip liners you can really use to play around with the color of the lipstick and maximize your collection. And I want to be that person that's not like... YouTube kind of teaches you to love products and makes you want to love products. So when I wear, for example, Anastasia Madison, I want it to look like Anastasia Madison instead of looking like a color to suit me and my look. And I could throw it on with this grape soda liner from Kylie Cosmetics and make it something vampier, and that would actually be really cool, and I want to wear this. And I think that's a 28-year-old me and not the 25-year-old me or whatever that purchased this and wanted to be some kind of beauty guru that can recommend things that look exactly like they do on her lips, despite the fact that she doesn't have a platform to do so. So that's my little rant. Yeah, so in conclusion, I could wear a Be Okay in the winter, and if I don't want that neon effect, I could dull it down with maybe a pink liner or a more mauve or nude liner, and that'd be really cool. I have some minis that I use. I really appreciate having the minis when I'm going out at night, because I'm not a big bring a purse girl. So with the minis, either I can stick it in my pocket, I can stick it in my bra, I could ask my friend to stick it in her purse, and I don't feel like I'm being too needy. So this is Frickin' Frack from ColourPop. Where am I swatching now? It's like a nice deep berry red, maybe? I like that. Another one that I have is Dopey. I had worn this to the Lana Del Rey concert. This might be kind of similar to that Scorpio Moon that I swatched earlier. These are both the Ultra Satin formula. I think these were like a gift with purchase from ColourPop when the Ultra Satin first came out. So that's cool. I miss when they would do stuff like that. And we're almost at the end. The only 2 things that I have left are 2 lippy sticks from ColourPop. And as I've been doing this, I've kind of been realizing how much I appreciate these, that they are so comfortable and convenient. So I have Lullaby, and this is one of my favorite reds in the world. I wore this to the K-Flay concert in September in Brooklyn with my friends, and it looks like that. I love, like, this is like the Matte X formula, so I like that it stays put, but it still doesn't feel like a drying matte like some other matte lipsticks can even feel, and you can wipe it off when you're about to eat a donut, so I like that about it. And last but not least is Oh Snap from ColourPop. This is one, actually, funny story, maybe not that funny. I had taken it to Miami when I was there, like maybe 2 years ago. And on the last day, we had a checkout of our Airbnb, and we brought all of our stuff to a pool party. So I had stuck this in my denim jacket pocket, and I lost it somehow at the pool party, which I guess makes sense because I'm drunk and walking around with a denim jacket with lipstick in it. But I repurchased it. I feel like I wouldn't do that for a lot of lipsticks. A lot of things, because I have such a big collection, a lot of things I lose, or they rip, or they break, or they're old, and I'm kind of like relieved to get rid of them because then that's one less thing cluttering up my life. But Oh Snap, I wanted Oh Snap, so that's it there. And it's a really nice creamy nude. I really like it. So that's my story. This is all the lipsticks that I wore in September, and I'm keeping in my collection for now. 26 lipsticks. So that's kind of cool. Oh, actually, one more. Fenty Gloss Bomb. This actually doesn't fit into my little container, so it was sitting to the side of it. But this is a classic. I love this one. Kind of unfortunately, when they first came out, they had announced on their website that this and the foundation and a couple other things were vegan, and they haven't updated that for any new release since then. Actually, when they came out with those like color matte lipsticks, I had emailed them to ask, and they were like, we can't guarantee anything's vegan. So that's kind of a lame response and disappointing, and I won't purchase any other glosses if they can't tell me that they're vegan. But I love this. I love the big doe foot. I feel like it's like juicy and sexy, and it's the perfect throw on lip if I just want something like to look pretty and not necessarily to look like, look at my lipstick. Yeah, that's my story. These are my, 27 lipsticks that I'm keeping from the month of September. If you want to see these swatched on me, please check out my highlight on my Instagram. And thank you very much for watching. And hopefully this will see the internet sometime, and there'll be another one of this in October. Okay, bye.